Welcome back to Dave and Mao in the Philippines. It's been a little while. We've been extremely busy. Had to wait a few months for permits, which put us on the backside. We missed out starting this project before the rain season. But I just want to welcome you all back, and hopefully I won't go on a 3-month hiatus. Anyways, we've just been busy, you know. We got a kid and taking care of family and getting this project on the way, ordering gravel and sand and concrete. Picked ourselves up a nice mixer. Had a guy tow it out. Here's a little video of that.
Mixer.
You picked up a mixer?
Yeah.
Oh, Philippine ingenuity. Look at that. Outstanding. Cool. We'll see you at the job. Anyways, we set the foundation, and I'll put little clips in here while I talk. We put the rebar in, got all our columns up, and yesterday it rained so hard we filled up 4.5 50-gallon drums from this little tiny roof. So the gutter systems work good. Flows into this little net area here, and then we scoop and fill up these other containers, and they're all full, which saves me from dragging out 50 gallons a day like I had to do 2 weeks ago. Now, we've been in rain season, and yesterday was the first hard rain, and I had to haul water every day, sometimes 3 times a day. We went through 60 bags of concrete, 3 of us, last week. This is what's left of our foundation after the rain yesterday. We have a swimming pool. This is the lowest portion of our property, and that's why I wanted to get started 2.5, 3 months ago. But things in the Philippines run slow. You have to wait, and just part of it. You have to have a lot of patience compared to the Western culture. Everything here will take 5 or 6 times longer than what you naturally expect it to. I could probably build a whole home in the US for how long it took to get prints and permits. But that's just part of life. Anyways, so we got the footers all done. They're huge footers. They're sitting on top of solid stone. There's no clay underneath these. We dug down. I just did a little hole and I found this flat gray stone, and then it stepped up into a black stone area. So that's why we got a little step up going on. We set the columns yesterday. We're going to set one more today. We set those in the downpour. Didn't stop working. The guys wanted to keep working. I'm going to let the guys do what they want to do. They want to work. They want to earn money, and I encourage it. Anyways, yeah, we kept working. I said, if we see lightning, we're out of here. No lightning. Goodness. Thank goodness. And the flies are back out early morning after a good rain. They are everywhere. So we're going to set one more column today. I had 5 cubic meters of sand delivered yesterday. We put it under a tarp because our neighbors have about, I don't know, 12, 15 dogs. They just keep having more and more puppies. They don't live over there. They just have dogs over there. So he brings food out to them every day. So we have to cover our black sand or it'll be full of feces. And the dogs will come over here and dig and throw it all over the place. And it makes a mess. It's not their fault, you know. We have 3 cubic meters of gravel coming. This runs me 1,600 per cubic meter. Now, it might be different for some people in different areas of the Philippines, but here in Calbayog, Samar, 1,600 pesos per cubic. I'm okay with that. The sand is 1,500 per cubic, so 5 cubic was 7,500, so about 120 odd US dollars. All you got to do is take the number and divide it. Right now, we're getting a little over 61.25 per US dollar. So take 7,500 that we paid for the sand, divide it by 61.25, and that'll give you pretty close to what I paid for it. We have a bunch of 16, 12, and 10 rebar. This is for our upper beam, and it's not really truly an upper beam. This whole area is going to be poured walls, and we're going to have an upper beam is what I'm calling it right now, and then we'll have a 6-inch floor. All this gets backfilled and filled with dirt and packed, and the reason being is I have this big hill putting a lot of pressure on here. This is probably the most expensive part of this project for sure. It's just something we had to do. And right across here, where these 3 columns are going to be, over to a 4th column that's not there yet, and that way, this is all wall. Because behind me, we're actually on government land right here, where our little shop is set up. This is our front wall to our road over here. The concrete mixer with a 27 horsepower motor, gas, not diesel, was $66,000. We could rent one for about $1,500 a day, but the issue is we poured for 2 days and then we haven't poured in about 5 days. And to get the concrete mixer back and forth, you have to pay a delivery and pickup charge. And so we did the calculations, and that means I could rent it for, I don't know, 45 days, and I could have just bought one. So I kind of look at the long term. We have 1,000 square meter property. We have a massive walls going in along the driveway going up. We have a whole house. We have a whole garage. And I had to make common sense out of it and say, I'm not renting. I'm just going to own it, and we'll take good care of it. We try to wash it off after every use, and that's it there. We got our bender here. I do a lot of the bending also. We got a ton of stirrups underneath here already, ready to go. We have some hooks. Call them J hooks, but I didn't do full hook. We've got our water jug. We got our little board up here in case we have miscommunication. We can draw it out and understand each other. I got some of my US tools that I sent over. My DeWalt set, my Ryobi set. I have an inverter 220 to the 110 so I can charge these because my DeWalt and Ryobi are quite old, so they don't have a charger for 220 110. We bought a few other, got a little battery operated saw. We can put the cut blades on that so I didn't have to bring a generator out and leave that here. We have a bunch of our tie wraps. They come in bundles and then you have to cut it. This is just kind of a little storage area. Don't have much in there. Here's all the barrels. We have 5 barrels so we can get about 500 gallons, or 10 barrels, 500 gallons of water. The PC20, if you go to my earlier videos, it has been awesome. This was a glorious hose that blew this morning. 3 minutes after I started the excavator. 1,300 paces later, new hydraulic hose. I don't know, $22 or something. All right, guys, got to drive. And we have a little hydraulic leak on the drive line. And I took some epoxy, good old stuff from the US, and sanded that hydraulic line down. It's a metal one. It goes to the front drive over here. And I wrapped it with that epoxy Play-Doh stuff, you know. And it actually helped. It stopped it. And I just needed something temporary because these lines are going to be hard to find. Been changing the oil, keeping up on the greasing. I run it about half throttle to 3/4 throttle, and we're good to go. So we had some block delivered sitting up there. I was going to use block, but after getting it, it was horrific. This stuff, I don't even know why they use them. They're not for structural like they are in the States. All they are is fillers, because you have posts, beams, and then you take these cheap ass block and you fill it. Look at this. That's a block. That's a block. So they count on you just stacking these up nice and softly, throwing rebar in the center and filling the hollow core, and then you got an inch of rendering, just concrete on each side, and that gives it strength. Well, with this, having so much force against it from all of this, I couldn't afford it. So we're gonna pour walls. It just makes sense to pour walls here. I don't know why they would use these blocks. You know, when you pour walls, it's structural, and these are not structural. So you'll have your columns, your beams going across, creates a square. They fill it in with these hollow blocks and render it, and that's it. And to me, I think you just walk up and throw a sledgehammer through it. I don't want that. It got really muddy here yesterday. It's gonna be muddy for the next couple days. Moved a lot of dirt yesterday, and right after I moved a huge amount of dirt from up on the hill to the side so I can start throwing it here once we get these walls done, it just downpoured. And of course, the rain is gonna go to the lowest spot. So across the street, we have a wall over here holding up our street. Let me go out here. And I gotta run over to City Hardware and grab a hose. Excuse me. And we're gonna do the old suction across the street, up and over this retaining wall, and down the hill. So once we get that water in that hose, we'll throw it over and it'll self-drain down there. Well, got this green little hose here down in this water going across the street. Got the van running with the AC on. Instead of just letting it flow down the street, we just threw it up over the wall. I don't know if you can see it, but it is flowing. See it there? See that water movement? Ah, gravity is a wonderful thing. When we get these walls poured on the other side, the far wall going up to the hill, we will put in a French drain that'll lead out to the street here, and that should relieve some of that water pressure coming down this hill. Yeah, this is the biggest portion of this job. I find it to be easy after this. I'm hoping it will be. I will show you a couple clips of some of the processes. I'm probably not the best guy to teach, but I'll show you. I'm going to give a shout out to Texas Filipina. If you go to his YouTube channel and you go onto his playlist, he has like 7 or 8, maybe 9 videos of how he casts walls, and it's pretty knowledgeable. And he just doesn't do that. He built a whole resort, solar, the whole 9 yards, and it's impressive what he does. And hopefully, once they get the resort done, they already have rooms that the people are staying in, but I was gonna wait until they get it completely done, and maybe I'll be done next year and I can go out and check out his work, because I find him interesting. He dabbles in just about everything, from rebuilding engines, building boats, a house, hotel rooms. He's just all over the place. But he's a good dude, you can tell. And he's from Texas, of course, Texas Filipina. Anyways, there's a little shout out to one of the YouTube channels I watch. All right, well, gonna get this excavator moved. Sloppy mess yesterday, and we will be back with you soon. $97, $98, $99. Beer time. Well, it sucks. We get the hose running, but they're just bucketing it out, one bucket at a time. I'll be honest, when you find a couple of good guys, pure gold in here. I treat them good. I pay them well. They just work, man. It's amazing. I didn't even think we were going to pour today, and here we are. They just want to get it done. Good work ethic, man. Awesome work ethic. We like to top these columns kind of rough because we're going to be putting a beam across there. So we'll have a top beam, not really a top beam, but a top beam for this lower foundation. And we want it to bond into that rough stuff. We don't want it smooth.